Well, I just got out of Bass Pro. Didn't spend too much money today. There was a couple things I was looking for, and there's a lot of stuff there's still out of. Some of the things I was wanting to find, I couldn't find. But anyways, I came down to the Bass Pro here because there's a creek that's like a mile away or less that I've been wanting to check out. So I figured I'd, get two things done at one time. So I got a couple little lures, and I'm gonna do some, I'm just gonna do some like light action, or I guess you'd call it just creek bass fishing. I'm just gonna call it like small creek bass fishing. I'm gonna go through this creek and kind of look for bass, but like for what you would expect to find in a smaller creek, and kind of show you a couple of lures I'm gonna use and some of the things that I will bring. So first I gotta go find the access, and then we'll get fishing. Ooh, this looks pretty good. Oh, it's kind of clear too. There's a big old red breast right there. That is huge. All right, I just kind of, oh, that's a nice little bass. Ooh, this creek is gonna be good. Looks like a perfect wading creek too. This is the second bridge. The first bridge I stopped at, the water was a little deeper. I found another spot upstream, stopped here. It's raining just a little bit, but I don't think it'll be bad. And it's like a solid rock bottom, clear water. It's right in the middle of town, so this creek's gonna go through a bunch of, probably like right through a bunch of businesses and stuff. So I'm gonna get in here, start wading. Dude, there's a lot of activity. All right, quick rundown what we're taking. So I like to use, if I'm going creek fishing or creek bass fishing, I like to use, this is a 6.6 medium. I actually just bought this rod, and then Lou's actually sent me this reel. The reel is a 200 size, so I got 10-pound braid with an 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. That's for abrasion resistance. This rod's a 6.6 medium. I like to use a medium or medium light, just depending. This is a really light rod, real comfortable to carry around. I got a 3-inch Bass Pro Zwimbait. I think it's a 1/20th ounce jig head. Just a good small lure to catch some all-around size bass. Of course, I got my wading bag. This is a PC Fin wading bag. It's got a couple of different pockets for different things: scales, batteries, grippers. And I don't want to put too much stuff in there. The swim baits. I got some wacky 4-inch yum dingers, a pair of pliers, a couple of different swim baits, HELLGRAMMITES. That's one of my favorite lures. I might use those later on. So this is my setup, and now I can start wading. I got old tennis shoes on. Gonna start wading this creek, looking for bass. Oh, I got a whole bunch of little fish looking at. Oh, here comes the bass. Ooh, here comes a nice bass. Hit it, hit it. I see him right in front of me. I just let it sink to the bottom. He didn't seem too aggressive. Oh, not a nice bass out of a creek is what I'm searching for. 8 to 14 inches is my range. Oh, I'm getting hits from redbreast and sunfish. There's a lot of fish in here, but I'm definitely looking for the bass today. There's people all over the place right here. I'm gonna use the same jig head, but just to try out this wacky rig. I forgot my polarized glasses too. I should have brought those. I can't see over there that great. Got him. Oh yes. I haven't even got in the water yet. This is the first spot. The wacky rig got him done. Let me get down in the water to get to him. Oh, sinking in right there. Ooh, what a start for the first bass today. I threw my wacky rig off. That's a nice creek bass. That is the perfect range that I'm looking for. He's probably 11, 12 inches long. He may be right at 12 inches long. Just the ideal creek bass. Took a little coaxing, but it hit him. So, man, this could be a really good place. Oh, there's one. Oh, there's a big old bass right behind it. Like a good bass. That was a big redbreast right there. He followed that redbreast out of this little pocket I was casting into. Oh, where did he come from? I was looking upstream, this guy just hammered it. Nice bass. Good fish. I saw one back a little ways, maybe about this size, and I couldn't get him to hit. This guy came out of nowhere and just smoked it. Another good bass. I expect there'll be a lot of this size. A lot of times when there's these kind of creeks, there'll be a lot about the same size, and this is just, it's just a good size to catch. Oh, yes! No, I didn't get a good hook set. He hit it right away. Man, I didn't get a good hook set on that guy. I thought I saw something good just a second ago following my lure. I threw back over there and he hit it right away and I didn't get him set. That was the best fish so far today. Man, you gotta be ready. You just never know when they're gonna hit. Oh, that one. I got him. He's over there in the same, there may be a couple of them over there. I don't know if that's the same one or not. It's a good fish. I think he's bigger than those other ones. These guys fighting machines. Ow. Yeah, that's the biggest one so far. Yeah, he's probably, yeah, maybe about the same as the other one. He's a little heavier, I think. Around that 12-inch range. Maybe 11, something like that. But that guy's thick. This is a good section through here. There's a lot of water right here, actually. Let's see if there's anything else back in there. Ooh, hit it. Got it, there's another one. Wait, what is that? Oh, it's a, oh my goodness, look at that red breast. That thing's a giant. Holy moly. He hit harder than that bass did. Look at that thing. All right, well, I'm turning around. I'm gonna go back downstream and I'm switching to what I think is the best creek, river bass fishing lure in clear water. NIKKO HELLGRAMMITE here. At least the best one that I've used, and I don't have to worry about it tearing up and it'll last forever. So let's see how it works. Oh, good fish. I didn't even know he was on there. There's like 3 of them following behind it. This is a section I came through earlier and I didn't get this fish, and now coming back through, there's 2 behind him about the same size. These are pretty fish. Wow, yes, I'll take that. Oh, we're getting a little bigger. That's probably about 14 inches. He's probably a pound largemouth out of like creek, like a small creek that you're wading is usually a good fish. There was 2 other ones right behind him. They were just swimming around. I don't know where, if they're gonna hit. Just kind of keep, ooh, what? Yep, there's one. That's awesome. Dude. See, a little bit different presentation, which with the HELLGRAMMITE or like a Ned rig or creature bait a lot of times, something like that. We'll just get these little guys that they weren't hitting the swim bait. They just weren't that aggressive for it, but they'll hit something else. And I'm actually wading upstream is usually better. And a lot of people say always wade upstream. I waded upstream, caught several, spent about an hour. Then now I'm coming back downstream and I caught 2 in the hole that I already waded through going downstream. So it didn't mess these fish up at all. If they want to, that's a good, healthy looking little fish. Where's this rain coming from? It's like 2 clouds up there. Well, the rain's letting up and the creek looks good, but we've got some runoff from the road starting to pour in here and it's really starting to get muddy. Oh, there's one. Yeah, I knew there were some bass over there that I saw them when I first came and they wouldn't hit the swim bait. I figured they'd hit this HELLGRAMMITE, but man, this water is pouring in off the road. And people always wonder about trash. Like, there's trash all in those creeks, and this is where it comes from. It runs off the road, pours into these places, and you can't keep it out. I mean, there's people throwing things in, stuff washing down from miles upstream, but mostly just stuff coming off the road and just pouring into here. But all that stuff, all that is chemicals pouring into this creek. You'd think it would just like kill everything, but it doesn't bother these fish at all. They stay super healthy. Look at that. All that oil and grease and pieces of ketchup, and there'll be bottles and cans and everything, but you know, it doesn't really affect the fish, so that's a good thing. There we go. Oh, another red breast. They're so bright, I can see them even with the water getting all murky like it is. So I'm probably gonna get out of here. The water it all got messed up from that rain, and I definitely want to go downstream next time. It looks like it gets a lot deeper and steadier. Like the possibilities for a lot bigger fish look really good down that way. But definitely had a good time exploring it today. But let's go back. I'm gonna share a few more helpful tips, hopefully helpful tips about creek bass fishing setups and stuff like that. So the water ended up getting really muddy there in that creek. So I want to end this video out talking a little bit about small creek fishing, or small creek bass fishing. So you're targeting bass in smaller creeks. A smaller creek, something you can't kayak, maybe just under a kayaking size, but bigger than just a trickle of water. And the bass that I'm usually targeting in there is going to be from 8 to 14, 15 inches. You know, and that's the thing about targeting those bass. Sometimes you can pull out, or you can find that there's like a 16, 17 inch bass in these small creeks that you didn't know was there until you started throwing lures that will kind of get those bass to hit. Now, I was using this Lew's TP1 speed stick rod. It's a rod I just bought, and because I was wanting to try it out. It's really lightweight, which is very key. That I want to carry something around the creek that's super lightweight so I can walk a lot. It's a 2000 size reel, 10-pound braid on it, and an 8-pound fluorocarbon leader just to help out with the rocks. But you know what? This rod is a medium. It's a 6'6" medium, and it didn't have near as much flex on the end that I kind of like for a creek for throwing smaller lures. And I'll explain why I throw smaller lures in just a second. But it actually is a really good rod. I might have to try to order it in a medium light. But I usually am going to go with a medium light. This one here is the, I did a video on this just recently, the Speed Stick HM30. It's a 6'6" medium light. It's got a lot more flexible end. Let's see here, I got the PC Fin Serpent. This is a medium light that I use. I got from PC Fin. PC Fin Serpent, it's a 6'8" medium light. And I like this one because the tip on it's extra fast. So it sets the hook really good, bends way up here. Let's see, I got the Abu Garcia Veritas. This is a 6'9" medium light, and this is a great one too. This feels really good, and the tip's got some good flex. And then also another rod here that I like to use is this is the Speed Stick combo that I got from Walmart. I changed the reel to a 1000 size, but this is a medium also. But you know what? This rod is extra like flexible in the end. It's a little bit more flexible and softer than the other medium. So a lot of times you just kind of go through and pick them out. And why do I want a medium light? So what's the purpose of would you want a medium light over a medium or medium heavy if you're targeting bass? Well, to help throw smaller lures. And why do you want to throw smaller lures? So let me show you a few lures that I think are great for targeting creek bass. And what I've seen, this is just from my experience, what I've seen, if you're throwing like, say you just got an ultralight rod, and you might not be able to set the hook on certain good fish, but you can still catch a lot. But still, you can throw like little crappie lures with it, which smaller lures like that, little crappie lures, little like 1-inch baits sometimes, I've been in a lot of places where those just won't get those fish to hit. They won't get the bass to hit. They'll get the panfish and stuff, but if you really want the bass to hit, a 3 to 4 inch bait seems to really trigger more bites, just from what I've seen in those type of creeks. Now I've seen 10-pound bass caught on crappie lures, and I've caught a 4-pound largemouth on a crappie lure before in a river and stuff. But for most of those creeks, you know, a good swim bait. This one is was that a 3-inch? I think that was a 3-inch swim bait. Yep, that's a 3-inch. This little rage tail is like a 3-inch soft plastic. Let's see here. These are 4-inch yum dingers. I caught a fish on them, and I used one in some other places, and that's a great size. It's not something too big. This right here is the Zman 3-inch slimZ. It's a real slim body, but it's got a long enough tail, looks like a good sized minnow. And then of course my favorite right here is the HELLGRAMMITES. It's a 3-inch soft plastic. And these two right here are two that I feel like I can go anywhere and catch fish on them. But so what I'll do with these is, now these baits are pretty lightweight. They're really lightweight baits. And both of them actually float. The Zman stuff and the NIKKO stuff, they float. And what I like to put on there, if I'm going for creeks, maybe at the heaviest, a 1/16 ounce jig head, something like that. And then Zman makes 1/15 ounce stuff. So 1/15 ounce, and I like using 1/20 ounce. So those are pretty light jig heads. You know, that's pretty light. If you're throwing a light lure like that on a medium heavy, you can't flick it. It won't flick as easy. It's like kind of stiff. Like, that's what I was noticing on that pole, that medium, that white one. It wouldn't cast it quite as easy. I had to put a little more force into it. If you're using a medium light, it'll flex more and just fling those lures out there. And that's why they have different ratings on them, you know, what they're made to cast, and a lot of times they do less than what they say. But so I'll be able to fling those lures, and I got that nice sensitive tip, and where when those fish bite, you know, I can feel it a lot easier. These lures a lot of times will get bass to hit that just a littler lure might not hit. You probably can't see that, but that's a Rebel crawl right there. I got them all. I got a bunch of little things in this little pack. It's kind of this pack I take on creek. And this one down here is the Bitsy minnow, and that's a good, you know, it's a good size. It's only about 1 inch long, but it can pull out some good sized fish. You know, if you're throwing a Bitsy minnow, you know, you need something light to throw it with. The Rebel TNR, you know, little. I like a lot of little soft plastics because I feel like those fish can get them in their mouth so much easier, and just kind of bite it. But those kind of lures, they really will bring out some fish. And a lot of times you're throwing that lure and you're catching 10-inch bass. Then next thing you know, there's like a 2-pound largemouth or smallmouth, something comes out of somewhere, and you're like, where'd that come from? And they will hit those lures when they won't hit the smaller ones sometimes. Now you could go to that same creek and just cast big lures if you want, but you might not catch the 8 to 12-inch bass. You know, you might have them biting and coming off. So that's why if I'm going small creek fishing, I find that right in between range to get the smaller bass, but also can get the bigger ones to bite, and also can get some of the bigger sunfish. Sometimes those big sunfish got big mouth, and they can get it and hit that too. All right, last thing I'm gonna leave you with, as far as going for a creek bass, you are going to get bit by everything. So creek chubs, if there's long ear, if there's red breast, or bluegill, or red ear, if there's, you know, I don't even know what else, any kind of little bass, they are going to be very aggressive. That's what they are in creeks. And those lighter lures, when you throw them, I'll throw them, it'll hit the water, and with that lighter jig head, it doesn't sink so fast. It sinks slowly, and that way, and also, so you throw that lure, hits the water, be ready for an attack right away. So you throw it, hits the water, set your reel, boom, get ready, get your line tight, get ready for a hit. These Kitech Easy Shiners, they catch fish. They are great. They're scented. They got such a great action. But if I take these to the creek, I guarantee you, I'm going through the whole pack. Each fish is going to tear that up, and then I'm going to get 17 bites from little fish. They're just going to rip it apart. So that's another thing to think about when you're going out. Find a lure, or a hard body lure will, you know, hold up. You don't have to worry about that. But that's just a couple of little tips. You know, I know this, a lot of the times the small creek bass fishing is a little niche where a lot of people kind of don't. That's not really something you target. So maybe this will help some people trying to think, hey, maybe I should try fishing for bass in this little creek, or fishing for bass to see what happens, and make sure I got the right lure, because I know a lot of fish are going to be attacking on it, and make sure it's not too heavy because I don't want it sinking and getting in the logs, and the water's only 1.5 feet deep anyway. I want to give it time to kind of look natural in the presentation. So hopefully I summarized all that up pretty good, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it.